Today, I just got back from CGC, my Hulk 181. I cleaned and pressed it myself, sent it into CGC for grading. Well, I just got it back. Let's open up this box and find out what grade did I get. Welcome back, comic book fans. It's Rusty again with Collector Auctions, and today I've got a CGC unboxing for you, but it's not just any book. It's one book. It's the biggest book of the 70s. It is my Hulk 181. This is a book I picked up from an auction win from Infinity Comics much earlier in the year. I cleaned and pressed it, sent it into the CGC with a lot of other orders, actually, and I just got it back today. So we're going to open up this box and we're going to find out what grade did I get. And to let you guys know, I have not peeked. I don't know what grade I've got. So I have an idea what I think it is. So I'm going to talk about it a little bit here, build up a little bit of suspense, and tell you what grade I think I've got and kind of what I thought it was going to be when I first picked up the book, even before I ended up getting the book in my hands, what I thought it could be, and what I kind of thought it was once I sent it in, and then what I think it is right now before we actually open this up. But I will tell you a little bit of the story. So it was an auction win off of Infinity Comics. It was not cheap. I thought the book was in fantastic condition. To be honest with you, I thought the book looked like an 8.0, maybe even an 8.5. But judging from the photos from Infinity Comics, it was definitely hard to pick up some of the damage, some of the staining. It wasn't a lot of damage, but once I got it in my hands, I definitely felt like, okay, maybe I overestimated this a little bit, even though I thought the book was still in fantastic shape, really nice. And I had high hopes that once I cleaned and pressed it, one that I didn't damage it when I was doing that. That was my biggest fear. But that, okay, maybe it's not quite what I thought it was, but I still think I'm going to come out ahead at that point. This is right after I cleaned and pressed it. And I kind of thought, okay, maybe it's a 7.5 at that point. Maybe a 7, somewhere in that range. Well, I sent it in, and I sent it in, as I said before, with a lot of other books. I actually sent it in with 5 other orders. And this is all coming in when I sent in my book, my Spider-Man 121, to get signed by Jerry Conway in one of their signature signing events at CGC. Well, I'd like to send in other orders along with that signature series order because you put the initials of the artist on the outside of the box gets opened a lot sooner. That means that your other orders will get into the pipeline a lot sooner. And one of these orders out of those 6 was this right here, my Hulk 181. It was a book by itself because it is an unlimited value book. And to be quite honest, I don't think I paid... I put an estimate on it, what I thought it probably was worth, and I paid the, I guess it's, 4% of unlimited value, whatever that is, and it wasn't all that expensive, to be quite honest. It wasn't outrageous. And once it was graded, and once it got notified that it was coming back to me, I kind of have been reassessing what I think it is. And I'm going to say right now that I'm hoping it doesn't go below what I thought it was. It's a nice book. It does have some damage and everything. But right now, I am guesstimating that this book came back as a 6.0. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm obviously giving myself a lot of range for what this book could be. I'm trying to keep my expectations tampered down because I don't know. And I'm very excited about this. If it goes higher than that, I'm obviously going to be very excited. If it goes lower than that 6.0, I'm definitely going to be disappointed. To what level of disappointment, I don't know yet. But guys, that is pretty much the whole story at this point. Why don't we just open up the box and find out what we got? What grade did we get? As they do on Short Pocket Monsters, I believe that's the YouTube channel where he opens up he gets the great cards back from Pokemon, from CGC or PSA, and he doesn't know what the grades are. What grade did we get? What was it? Was it great or was it, he don't use the word on the channel like that. So I'm taking a little inspiration. What grade did I get? So here we go. Got the knife. Got the box. I'm actually a little disappointed. I don't think this is a literature style box. It is just a regular box, it looks like. But let's open this up and take a look. Now, one of the things you're going to see is I actually did do a custom label on here. It would have been nice to have a different Wolverine as the label. It definitely was one of the Wolverines. In fact, you can see it over my left shoulder right there on my Wolverine #1. It's going to be the same label. It's the John Byrne Wolverine. It's not the one I would have wanted for this necessarily, but it's still one of the best Wolverine customs that they make. But here we go. We got one of these small bubble enclosures. It's got one book in it, and I am going to turn it over. I almost saw the grade there. I'm going to turn it over. See, there it is. I'm going to take the bag off. And I'm going to hold it so I don't look up and see the grade on the back. And you guys can see it. There it is. It looks very nice. There's that John Byrne Wolverine right there. Again, you can see it right over my shoulder right there. I guess this is a moment of truth. And I'm really excited. My fingers are crossed. Let's see what we got. Well, my instincts were exactly on pace for what I thought I was going to end up getting with this. I can't say that I'm disappointed because that's where I set my expectations before this book was going to get open. I can't complain about this. What I paid for this book and what this grade is actually is pretty good. I didn't lose money. I didn't actually make, I didn't really put a lot more value into this by getting it graded, to be quite honest. But I didn't lose money on this. I think I've secured this book to being at a very good condition at this point. It was a decent job of cleaning and pressing. I probably, honestly, maybe I think about going to a professional presser, somebody who can actually do some cleaning and see if there's any other improvement they can make in this book. It's quite possible. I may send it in and just do for an evaluation and see what they think. And I wouldn't mind paying for something like that. Maybe Palm Beach presser? That's the one Moneyball always uses. I may send it in to him and say, what do you think? Do you think we could get this up any more? I'm definitely going to have to read the grader's notes and see what they said on this. And I will try to put the notes right here on the screen so you guys can see what the exact notes were. And we'll go from there. Maybe that's the end of the journey for this book. I'm so happy to have this in my PC. I've strived a long time to get this book. There are guys out there in the hobby, especially at some of the comic shows they've known for over the last couple of years. This is my major goal. One of my top 3 books from the 70s that I wanted. I never had this as a kid. In fact, I had issues all the way up to 179, and then somehow I missed for 3 months and I picked it up at 182 or 183. How did I miss 3 months worth of the Incredible Hulk, the most important? Now, the other 2 books that are top of mind, I've already mentioned. One was Amazing Spider-Man 129. I picked that up a couple years ago, but I sent my copy. It was a 5.0 I bought. I sent that into the Jerry Conway signing. So that's there at CGC. I sent that along with this book. It was a very expensive box that got sent out that day because there were other orders in there, including a New Mutants 98, X-Men 101. What else? There were definitely some other things in there. It was a high value shipment for sure. But the other book from the 70s, of course, for me, is going to be Giant Size X-Men #1. I did manage to have that as a kid. And I've got a coverless copy at this point because, as I always say, I read the cover off of that book, and I still have that in my PC. But I'm striving to have a very nice graded version of that at some point. But this was the main event right here. I skipped ahead and was able to secure this by selling a X-Men 266 newsstand 9.8 that I got paid a lot of money for. It got me within reach of getting this book from that auction from Infinity Comics, and I outright just bought it at this point at a grade. Now, I'm certainly hoping that this 6.0 will go back up in value. A few years ago, 6.0 would have been a $5,000 to $6,000 book. Obviously, the price at this point, I believe I just looked it up, is going to be around, I saw one just got sold on, well, it didn't get sold on, but I saw it reported on Go Collect for around $2,600, $2,700. But one went a week or two before that and went for $3,200. So one of the reasons I thought that I definitely was going to get 6.6 is because I did put a value of about $2,800 on this. And CGC didn't contact me and say, hey, we're going to charge you more or anything like that. So that's how I knew that this book probably wasn't going to go up in grade. If it had gone up, let's say to a 7.5 or something like that, then I might have been charged more. I don't know if a 7.0 would have triggered that or not, but I wasn't for sure. But once I knew this book was coming back to me and I hadn't been contacted about any kind of price increase charged to me, I kind of figured, okay, I know what I valued it at. What's it going to come back at? And I was looking at Go Collect and see what some fair market value was. And it could have been a 6.5. It could have been a 6.0. And I definitely leaned on the conservative side here, went with that 6.0. And obviously my gut instincts on this were correct. But why did I think that this thing was going to be an 8.5, 7.5? It was early in the stages, and I obviously shot over my skis a little bit when I bought this. I'm not disappointed in it. I think it's still a really good book. I still think there may be an outside chance that I could send it to one of the premier pressers out there. I could send it to the Comic Doctor. I could send it to Palm Beach. And I think I probably could get some improvement out of this. And the question would be, is it really going to be worth it? Maybe. So that will be a story for another day. That is it for today, guys. Thank you for joining me. Going to be a short video today, but couldn't be a bigger book for me. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, definitely hit that like, slap the subscribe, and click on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the future episodes that I've got coming out each and every week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 p.m. And don't forget, I definitely want to hear your comments. Leave them in the comment section below. I can't wait to hear what you guys think about this book. Let me know if you've got Hulk 181 in your collection, because I do at this point. I've gone for the last few weeks. And I did mail this, by the way. I did send this to CGC. It arrived at their location on August 28th. It was only a few days ago. And today is September 13th. So you know exactly when I'm filming this. I got this back today. So their turnaround on an unlimited book was fantastic. I have no complaints. I mean, I obviously wish this was a lot higher, but it's back in my PC. I am very happy to have this, and onward and upward, I suppose, with maybe a better copy at some day. And of course, that giant size X-Men #1. And then once that is done, we can get on to some of the other big keys from the 70s, the Ghost Riders and Luke Cages and things like that. So guys, that is it for today. Like I said before, I've already done all the sales pitch. I'm out of here. I will see you for the next show. Until then, guys, remember, every comic has a story.